Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Sketchbook Summer, the outdoor edition. I'm outside today. So we've been having some technical difficulties today. I don't know what it is. It could just be the internet connection because I am outside. But we will try to get through this. Mostly I'm just going to be drawing here on my lap, the stuff around the backyard. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I'm starting out with. Try to get it a little bit centered. So I'm just going to be drawing the tree right over there to start out with. And then I have Scott helping me. If you guys have any questions, you can write them in the chat. And hopefully the internet connection will hold on long enough for us to be able to do the drawing. Now, normally I have my sketchbook with me. I packed up everything this morning except for the sketchbook. That's the one thing I forgot. It's like the most important thing. But that's okay. We will carry on. I have this roll. This is the stuff that I take with me when I go out and draw, just so it's you know, nice and handy. So I have a couple colored pencils in here and other pencils and erasers and stuff like that. So if you're going outside and going hiking and stuff like that, it is really easy to just start drawing somewhere. There you go. How's the audio, Scott? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. It was dropping a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so this isn't a super like instructional formal class. I'm just going to be kind of sketching that tree and seeing what we come up with. So I'm going to start. This is where the trunk meets the ground. So if you think of this whole area down here as ground, this circle here is going to be the trunk bit. And it's not the greatest view I have of this tree. It actually grows in two parts. There's one part that comes up this way and then around like this. And there's another part of the tree. It kind of splits off in two and goes this way. So it's not the greatest angle, but this is the angle that had shade, and it's not good to have computers and devices out in bright sunlight. So this is the one that I'm going with for today. I'm just going to start slowly sketching out the shape of this trunk. I'm trying to get it to feel three-dimensional, so I'm using these ellipses here to get the sense of how wide around the trunk is. So it's not just a flat tree trunk. There's a bit that comes out here. Has anybody else ever tried drawing outside?
Liliana and Heather Rose said, I like drawing outdoors.
Cool. Backyards are great because they're nice and convenient. If you live by any cool areas, beach areas or mountainy areas, or like cool hiking trails, sometimes it's fun to just like set up somewhere and draw. So when we get up into, yeah.
Tater also does that occasionally, and Kat does too.
Cool. So when we get up to the areas where there's a lot of leaves, I have to keep in mind that there's going to be a bunch of leaves here. I like to think of them as little clouds, right? So I'll kind of draw little sections where I can see leaves poking through, and then here's some branches And I hold my pencil. Sometimes though, when we're drawing, it helps to hold your pencil in other ways. So when I want these soft lines, soft loose lines, I hold my pencil this. And I'm just trying to kind of figure, I'm not going to stick 100% to a lot of these lines. So drawing more lightly can kind of help with that, since it gets more of a mess.
Naylene, your audio is still kind of breaking up.
Over here. Kind of breaking up.
Yeah, the audio is still breaking up a bit.
Is it still breaking up?
I actually wasn't hearing anything if you were just talking.
No. I did ask if I should probably switch to the phone.
Oh, I think that might be a good idea.
Might be a good idea. Okay. So I'll keep the visual on, but I'm going to second on the computer. Okay, Scott, can you still hear me?
Yes, that sounds much better.
All right, cool. All right. So over here, I'm just blocking stuff out, and a lot of these lines are going to change. So I'm kind of trying to get the sense of how these branches are moving. And then wherever I see like a big chungal leaf, I'm just kind of blocking in where the chunks of leaves are going to go. The nice thing about doing plants and stuff like that is they don't have exactly the same structure. You know, no one's going to look at your tree and go, oh, that tree's branch wasn't going that way. You know, so if you need to edit stuff, it's easy to edit stuff while still making it feel believable. So I have this whole section up here, this whole cloud. It's just kind of, if I squint my eyes, that's what the branches look like. They kind of make this general shape. And then I'll go back in and put more individual details and stuff on it. I just want to kind of get the general gist of what's happening with this tree, where all the major branches are, what direction they're going, stuff like that. Let's kind of come up here. So I'm not going to get every branch. Start with the big ones, and then we work our way out from there. Smaller and smaller. So this area right here is blocked by a bunch of leaves. So I kind of want to get some specific leaves in here just because it's more central to the audience. Does anybody have any cool trees in their backyard? Like fruit trees or cool shaped trees?
I have lemon and persimmon trees.
Lemon and what was the middle one?
Persimmon.
Persimmon. Ooh. I've never had a persimmon, I don't think.
They're actually really good.
They're really good? Okay. I know that was a running gag, sour persimmons. I was like, I wonder if they're actually sour, what they taste like.
We have palm trees in our yard.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Ohio, so I'm still fascinated by the palm trees out here in California, even though I've been out here for like 20 years.
Yeah. They're a very flexible tree.
Mhm.
Do you have like big palm trees in your yard, or are they still pretty short?
They're tall, thin palm trees.
Tall, thin palm trees. Okay.
Yeah.
Pencils. So sometimes when I have a cluster of leaves, I'll just draw like the outside edge of the leaves. So it still gives the idea that it's like a little leaf section. And you don't have to draw a bunch of individual leaves. Okay. So I'm not going to get all of the overlap and all the intricate like bits going on with the tree because there's lots of little overlapping parts and stuff like that. I want it to kind of feel full without actually having to draw every little section. And the way I do that is I'll draw individual leaves wherever I think it's very close. And then back behind it, I'll maybe put like an outline of a clump of trees, clump of leaves or something like that. And that kind of fills out the area. And later on when I shade it, also shade it different. So that there's some parts that are pushed back.
And it gives more of the feeling that it's a full tree full of leaves, and I don't have to draw every single leaf.
Naylene, it looks like we just lost the connection to your other camera.
Oh, did it shut off? Yeah, it shut off. That's okay. I think I'm just gonna, oh, it did come back on.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's trying to, I think it's the internet connection. It's trying to shut down and come back on, so I'll stick to the phone.
Okay.
So you guys can't see what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is every once in a while I'll look up at that tree and squint. And then the individual leaves and stuff kind of melt together and I can see which sections stick out. And so I'm just going towards those sections and trying to get them in first. So right over here, there's one. And I don't have to draw every leaf exactly the same. So it kind of looks better if some are slightly different shapes. Even though they're all really the same, about the same shape. There's little bushels right over here. Little tiny sections of leaves. All right, and pretty soon when I go all the way around here, I'm gonna start adding some shading and some color and stuff. That'll be more exciting. Does anybody live in a place where the trees change color for seasons?
Kat says she does.
Cool. Yes, I was cool. I live in California my whole life, so we don't get much season change. Let's see, there's some pretty. Probably do like the same tree in different seasons. I'm just curious, did anybody see Vivo? Vivo just came out on Netflix.
I haven't seen that yet.
Haven't seen it yet. I didn't know anything about it. And I did not know that Lin-Manuel voiced the main character. So as soon as he started talking, I'm like, oh, hi. Hi, Lin-Manuel.
Did you enjoy it?
It was cute. It was not the best movie ever, but it was cute. It's about all I have to say about it. It was very cute. There's one part that surprised me in the beginning, without giving spoilers away. But most of it was like, typical family movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this tree has a bunch of like random twigs sticking up on it and things like that. And I'm just not going to draw those bits. So I can kind of edit those out. And it has a bunch of little smaller leaves back here. And I'm just going to simplify that and draw the edge as kind of this like jagged edge to get the idea that there's leaves back there.
Did anybody see How to Stay at Home?
I did see How to Stay at Home.
It was so good.
Right?
Yeah,
They
was
were
like,
they were way
Oh.
shorter than I wanted them to be, though. They were really short.
I know, but at least it's like, I was so happy that it's like, when I saw when they came out, it was just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Did anybody
yeah.
else see the new Goofy shorts? The How to Stay at Home series on Disney Plus. What that one was on.
It
I
would've been-
haven't seen that.
You haven't seen
been-
that?
Not
It
yet.
would have been cool if they did like one more,
Uh-huh.
like maybe like a social distancing one.
Oh yeah, that might be good. Definitely should have done well, maybe not Zoom, but like how to video conference or something.
Yeah, there's like other Disney characters like make appearances.
Yeah. On the computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. I just bumped my camera.
And I feel
Yeah.
like Mickey Mouse would be one of those people who would have their middle name on their name as their during their Zoom conference.
Oh, like they'd have their first name, last name, and middle name.
Like Mickey D Mouse or
I was
something.
gonna say, yeah. Does
like that.
does Mickey have a middle name? Does anybody know?
I don't think. No.
Let's do this on the bottom too.
But he just feels like one of those people that would do it.
Yeah. Who would be the one that like every single video conference they change the name on their camera to something else? There's
I
always
think I'd
one.
be like, I think it would be, I was thinking Donald.
Donald. Yeah. Donald would be the one that has like a ton of technical difficulties.
Yeah, the technical.
Yeah.
That,
He'd be like in the middle of a rant and the microphone would shut off and yeah. And then the chipmunks would be like eating his cables or something. Like, did anybody see the Chippendale shorts? They also have
No,
new
not
Chippendale
yet.
shorts.
But
Thank you.
but yeah, I was watching Monsters at Work a while ago. It's really good. It's like,
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I only watched the first 2 episodes, but it is ridiculous.
Okay. Oops.
What's your favorite thing on Disney Plus?
I don't know, but I like having just all of the old shorts and stuff in one place.
Yeah, I want
You
them
know,
to
like-
do you can go.
Yeah, I like just having the playlist and that it's all like there, so you don't have to go hunting. Like the
On
old
YouTube.
days. Yeah. And I was
Um,
like, oh, those old days on YouTube where we had to hunt for specific shorts.
Yeah, they should do a silver screen collection, because they only have 2 silver screen cartoons,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. And like
Yeah, I don't know
those-
the logic of why some things made it to Disney Plus and some things didn't, but
Yeah, it's like they should have some of their like things. Well, it's like they don't have the Mickey Mouse firefighters thing, and
Mhm.
it's like that was like so iconic. Like Funko made a pop just specifically for it,
yeah.
and then
I
they have
think oh, sorry.
yeah.
I think
No,
I
you
read
can-
that the reason some things didn't make it to Disney Plus was that well, some things they were under contract for, and
Mhm.
then a reason, and they're slowly phasing in Disney Plus as their platform.
So
I
they
read that.
so they have
It
new
could-
things
it
to
could be
add.
wrong now, but I think that's what I read.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. They used to have the vaults, so they would, for their movies, they'd only put certain ones out to sell, and then after a certain amount of time they wouldn't sell it anymore. So it gave like a sense of urgency, like, oh, if you want to buy it, you gotta buy it now. It's gonna go back in the vault. There you go. So you notice what I'm doing here with the shading around the trunk is that instead of like with the shadow where you just lightly kind of go back and forth, I'm trying to mimic the volume of the tree with my strokes. So instead of just going up and down or side to side, I'm trying to make this feel more round. So the shading, I'm actually trying to go around the trunk. So when you draw with those ellipses, that can help with shading too. Make things feel more 3D. And then the bark is gonna move, the bark isn't gonna be straight up and down either. It's gonna, kind of move and crack this way. So you can also use your shading to mimic that kind of effect. Just like little random lines. I feel like this got a little too thick, so I'm gonna bring it in. Scott, how are we doing on time?
It is 3:00 right now.
Okay, cool. We could probably just do a break now. Does anybody want to share what they're working on?
Here's Oliver.
Well, I'm still working on it, but so this is my second try on doing a Wellington J. Wimpy. You know, the Popeye character.
Yeah.
I could try and view the drawing. This is all I have so far. It's just like simple
Okay.
shapes right now. Because I just restarted.
You just started that? That's fine. We'd like to see work in progress stuff too.
Cat's up next.
Excellent.
I actually have another art form that's not drawing, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So I've been working on dominoes. This is a domino art field. Really
What?
simple, just as high.
That's
The
cool.
camera makes it look backwards. But,
Yeah. What got you started with the domino?
I watched a video and YouTube just kept recommending it to me.
Okay.
And then I actually watched some and it was really cool.
Yeah, I've never tried to do art with dominoes, but it's fascinating.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I really enjoy it.
Here's Tater.
Hey, Tater.
Hello. More digital pieces because that's what I do.
Yeah.
First is a sketch
Ooh.
work in progress of my Minecraft character Edwin laying near a pond, probably in a cave, and playing with an axolotl.
I
And
love
then-
the structure shapes.
Yeah.
I love
And
seeing
then
those.
this is a thing
Oh,
for my dad based off of 2 other arts I did. Both were redraws of an original piece that I made. And we've just been referring to this grumpy blue potato as the blue screen of death. So, yeah. Got
like
around
when
to
your computer
redrawing it.
dies, when your computer
Yep.
crashes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
cool.
thank you.
Do we have anybody else that wanted to share?
I think that was it for now.
Cool. Do a lot of you make art for gifts for your parents and stuff? Why not? So this will be a lot easier with paint, but I'm just blocking in the green areas, you know, and then I'll go back and reinforce shadows to bring out some of the individual leaves, kind of like that. So I'm not going to get through to the whole picture today, but you can at least get an idea of how build these things up over time. And then where I see light poking through, I can leave that lighter. So, you know, I shade it lighter in the first place, or I can add yellow colors and things like that. Like there's one over here that's really bright. So that's why having a couple colored pencils with you, like in your bag for when you go drawing outside, can add more depth. This one, I don't have one specifically for brown, that's why I'm using more of the gray, but you can kind of blend in. This is like red, orange, and black mixed together. So if I want more color, I can add that to the lighter areas. Add some life into this tree. Make it feel a little more warm. This is the shadow side. All right. So did anybody else see anything new that was really cool? We talked about the goofy shorts. some of the Disney Plus stuff.
I did see Space Jam: The New Legacy,
Uh-huh.
and I guess can I comment about it?
Yes, try not to do like super spoilery things, but we can talk about like in general what you thought about it.
It was too dramatic for a Looney Tunes movie.
It was too dramatic for Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, and it wasn't as, ridiculous as the first time, as when I watched the first film. Because like when I watched the first film, I just laughed and laughed, and I almost choked. Like, because like it's like that. If anyone hasn't seen the movie, I won't say it. But with that one scene that Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam Pulp Fiction joke, it's like that was just ridiculous.
So you
Like,
thought the one in the 90s was funnier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it felt more Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that's the problem. So Looney Tunes the shorts are like, 6-7 minutes long. So you run into problems when it's like, oh, this has to last for over an hour. Like, what do you do? So it's really hard to make that work.
Well, it was like an hour and 30 minutes, the original film.
Yeah, I forget how long the new one is. Did they make it longer?
It's like an hour and 50.
Okay. It's about the same.
But it's like also there's like, I feel like there's a lot more LeBron James in it than with because like with the Looney Tunes, with the original Space Jam film, it was kind of more balanced out. Like, and like they would sort of split from scenes with the Looney Tunes and then scenes with Michael, like it's split in and out.
Yeah, it takes a lot in the new version. It takes a long time to get to the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's like the first appearance of a Looney Tunes character is Marvin the Martian in that office. No, wait. If you're not counting the pixelated Bugs Bunny and Sylvester in the Game Boy, but that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot that even happened. I was like, it's like 20 minutes before Bugs finally shows up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it was something about that was Chuck's problem with the original Space Jam. It was like the problem was something that, Bugs could have handled by himself in like 7 minutes, 7 minutes. It's hard to find a plot that you could have the Looney Tunes do for over an hour.
Yeah, but when you put Bill Murray in it, it makes everything better.
There's a question in the chat from Liliana and Heather Rose. What's everybody's favorite Disney movie, Pixar included, Marvel not included?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
Yeah,
that's always a really hard question for me. Does anybody have one that's like their go-to? It's like, oh, this has always been my favorite.
I mean, I do like Finding Nemo. I like the Finding Nemo stuff. That's always fun to watch. Because like when I was rewatching Finding Dory, like the day before my birthday, it's like I was just pointing out like all the sea animals, like ocean
sunfish, you're
giant
all into the marine life, marine animals.
Yeah, and it's like, but I also love Monsters Inc. That is a film. I think it's just great. It's like you even like the bad guys in the movie because they just have so much character to them.
Oh yeah. No, I know Randall had a huge fan base when I was a kid. Like I assume he still does, but
yeah, I like Randall. Like,
Did anybody else have a favorite Pixar movie or Disney movie?
I'm not sure if it's my favorite, but I always really like The Emperor's New Groove.
I do too.
Oh, Kat would like to share?
Yeah.
So I kind of finished my setup. It's not super extravagant because I used a lot of my dominoes on the field. And let me turn on my light because the camera will probably do better with the dominoes that way. But here we go.
Oh, awesome. Is this one where you flip it? Knock them down?
So I'm gonna knock them down. Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah, thanks.
That's so cool.
The text reads hi, but since the camera flips it, it's backwards for you guys.
Oh, for sure. Well, you can still get the effect though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. How long do those take you to like put together?
I did that in this class, so
Oh, okay.
not too long. I just stopped to plug my phone in halfway, but
Yeah. That's awesome.
not too long. Yeah.
My favorite as a kid was Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, has anybody seen Flight of the Navigator?
No.
No? Okay. That was a World War II.
It was what, like 30 years ago or something?
Yeah.
35
I was
years
like,
ago?
not a lot of people have seen Flight of the Navigator anymore, I don't think. But yeah, I remember that one.
It's on, I think it's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. Oh, for sure.
I think maybe I've seen it, but it would have been a long time ago. When I was littler, my dad was really into watching old movies with me.
Uh-huh.
Well, well, this is a question that I like to ask people. Who's their favorite? What's your favorite cartoon character?
That's another really, really hard one because there's so many good ones.
I think a fun character. Well, one character I think that's really fun. He's not my favorite, but a fun character is Wellington J. Wimpy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's not a commonly known one. I don't think.
Yeah, he's
a more obscure one.
Yeah, he's a friend to Popeye, and it's so fun when he might like go behind people's backs and he's always asking them for mustard. The mustard's ridiculous. It's like he literally found it in a trophy once.
Uh-huh. He's obsessed with mustard, and Popeye loves the spinach.
Yeah. One thing, definitely not my favorite, but up there is the Pink Panther.
Mm-hmm.
The Pink Panther's he's a really fun character, but also the Inspector is another.
Yeah, as I say, I think I watched more of the Pink Panther movies with Clouseau than I did, because there's a cartoon as well. And I didn't watch the cartoon that much, but I saw a lot of more of the movies, and the movies are really fun.
But the cartoons are also fun because like they always have these wacky villains. Like one of my favorites is the Mad Bomber.
Uh-huh.
Because like in the end he's actually just a bomb with hair on him. And then he explodes.
He's an anthropomorphized bomb. Yeah.
I'd have to say one of my favorite characters is probably Greg from Over the Garden Wall.
Yes.
Thanks again, Naylene, for introducing me to that
getting you
cartoon.
obsessed with Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, I love that cartoon. But I think Greg's an awesome character. And I also like Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah. I still have Beatrice everywhere on my phone because I got my first smartphone around when that came out, I think. So
Uh-huh.
it was all like Beatrice wallpaper and stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
but I
check-
watch Over the Garden Wall every autumn.
Yeah.
Every autumn.
Check this out. I practically finished my Wellington.
We flip over. Nice.
I also have drawings of Popeye and olive oil.
They're all like together in a collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had on VHS, we had one of the Popeye Sinbad cartoons.
Oh my gosh. Which
And
one?
I
Like
didn't
the-
know any of the characters' names for a long time, other than just like Popeye. So I don't think they say, other than
So
like
there's-
Sinbad and Popeye.
So there's like
They didn't
Popeye, olive oil, Bluto,
Mhm.
Sea Hag. Sea Hag didn't come around until the 60s cartoons, but Sea Hag was like 1929-ish, like 1920s, and she's a very like interesting character. It's like, and it's like the one thing I never like get to know is like, so I've been reading the old Thimble Theater stuff, but I skipped all the way to from 1928 to, from 1929 to 1937.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't know the backstory of Happy and Sea Hag, and somehow they're enemies, and I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not
And
sure.
it's like
I don't know. I
didn't-
don't remember which one was
I
Sea-Hag.
only knew very few characters when I started watching the stuff, but once I started reading it, I was able to realize more characters. It's like I learned that Castor Oil actually makes a cartoon appearance
Uh-huh.
in the Spinach Overture. He doesn't speak, but he makes an appearance. Well, I think it's him.
Okay.
And I believe Oscar is there as well.
Yeah, a lot of the background characters would go like the crew would have a name for them, but they wouldn't say the name like in the cartoon necessarily. So some of
Yeah.
them like, yeah, I'm not sure.
Some of them you'd have to point out yourself.
Yeah, you have to like look it up now or
Yeah, I don't think Giesel ever made a cartoon appearance. 'I think Ham Gravy might have in this. He might have been the guy in the Spinach Overture, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And also it's like I still hardly have a clue who Eugene the Deep is because I've only read about him a couple of times. But he is a fun character, but I don't like him because he's kind of like in his cartoon appearance, he's kind of mean to Popeye,
Mm.
and he's sort of like being.
Was he one of the villains?
No,
or was
he's
he-
actually a good guy, but
He's supposed to be a good guy?
Kind of mischievous. Like
Okay.
he mummified Sea Hag, and it's like he's sort of like a little bit of both. It's like, and like Sea Hag couldn't do anything about it, even though she was a villain. Like everyone felt bad for her,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more of a temporary death.
Okay. So like those temporary death that wasn't permanent. It got better. Has anybody ever had canned spinach, like how Popeye eats spinach out of a can?
Yes.
He doesn't even cook it. He doesn't even cook it. He just
Nah.
stuffs it down his throat. But I have a theory that it's actually just normal spinach, but it's just stuffed in a can. Because you can see like a lot of leafy leafiness in the spinach when he swallows it in the cartoons. And
Oh,
he
you think
never,
it's fresh spinach, but it's just in a can
yeah, he just sort
instead
of
of can
stuffs it in
canned
there
spinach
for
that's been in a can
effect.
for a while.
Yeah,
I
he
mean
just stuffs
that
it in.
that sounds more appetizing.
I don't know
I
if they
love
still
spinach.
sell it nowadays, but when I was a kid, they actually had the Popeye spinach, like Popeye
Okay.
brand canned
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
spinach.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I've seen that before. It's like because I was reading this book on the history of video games, and actually there's an illustration of Shigeru Miyamoto drawing he was actually drawing inspiration from Popeye to get the idea of Mario.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like they showed him so they drew a picture of him drawing Mario from a Popeye spinach can.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, since when was that a thing? And I also compared the similarities of early Mario to Popeye, and there's surprisingly a lot more similarities. Like he did have what I call a butt chin,
Uh-huh.
and he looked a lot older,
Uh-huh.
like a lot older, sort of like 40s, like in his 40s or something. But Nintendo claims he's somewhere around 30.
Okay. So they wanted him to, is it that they wanted him to look younger?
And also, I think they might get sued by Paramount or King Features Syndicate,
For sure, yeah.
because they got sued by Paramount already. Donkey Kong was the problem.
Yeah, sometimes there's a fine line between inspiration and a copyright violation.
And Donkey Kong is a copyright violation.
Yeah, it's like you can't just outright copy the character, but everybody has
basically
their
a-
influences, so
Cartoon Donkey, cartoon King Kong.
yeah.
Like if Donkey Kong had a cartoon show in the 30s. I mean King Kong.
King Kong, yeah.
Naylene, I just wanted to give you a heads up. We have about 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I can't see
Uh-huh.
the time, so I have no idea how much time has passed. I got a lot further than I thought I did. It still has a ways to go, but I got all the main bits in there. Does anybody else want to share any of their work before we end the session?
I'm almost done with Wellington. Like
Uh-huh.
I just need to color in the shoes and his face, and that's it.
Excellent.
And sign it. I have to sign it, of course.
Yeah. I always forget to
Okay.
sign my drawings.
I started signing things ever since so people don't try and take credit for my artwork.
Does anybody else want to share anything they've done?
Can I share?
Yes.
So I was hoping to be a little bit further along, but I was having trouble getting the shape right. I'm making an octo tower.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really
I like
cool.
making domino structures. One of my favorite things to do with my dominoes.
Is it hard to get them to balance?
It can be. Honestly, with this particular structure and most structures I've built to this point, it's not, most of it isn't the balance, but it's getting the shape right. Because if
Okay.
you get the shape too wrong and the domino placement wrong, your structure can lock up in places. So some of it will fall, but the rest will stay up.
Okay.
Which in a big setup could ruin the entire thing, because if it
Right,
rocks
you
on
have
one
to have
side
them
and doesn't
all
hit. Yeah.
in the right place. Yeah.
This particular trick is pretty forgiving, though.
Okay. That's super awesome. I did not expect to see dominoes today.
There, I finished Wellington.
We switch? Yes. Nice. So
This
hopefully
is
if you
my
didn't recognize the name, you'll recognize the character.
Wellington J. Wimpy.
Mhm.
And it's like this is my first full body one, and
Uh-huh.
so it wasn't really as difficult as I thought, since I already drew him. Like I drew his face before, and then I had a failed drawing of his body, and just like everything, like top to bottom.
Mhm.
And so it was actually a lot easier, like the third time.
When you try it a couple of times, yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
usually happens. Because when you're drawing something first time, you don't really know, how to make those shapes yet. You have to draw it sometimes a couple times and then you learn.
Yeah, it took me 5 tries to do what. Well, it took me more like 3 tries to make a successful Popeye.
Okay.
And when I made a successful Popeye, it was actually successful when I did a full body.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you gotta get his arms, his strangely shaped arms. Then
He
it
has
feels like
scurvy.
Popeye.
He has scurvy, swelling, bulging arms, and redness in the face are symptoms of scurvy.
All right, cool. Scott, did we miss anybody?
Don't see anyone else who would like to share.
All right, cool. Any last minute questions or shares? Getting 1 more minute. I'm still trying to shade in very quickly. Just general things. Woo! Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll leave that as it is today. Thank you everybody for joining me for sketchbooking outside today. Hope you all had fun. And then as always, I will see you next week on Monday for more drawing time. Let me flip this back. And there we go. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Naylene.
Thank you, Scott.